Wait, it doesn't make no sense. Well, it is the best day of the week, so anyway, it's just going through its Hmm. Mm. Sorry, stream took a second there to get underway. Alright, letting the mod crew know, and then welcome in for whoever that is. Is that you, Darkness? Oh, hey, Red Joe. Alright, just going in and dropping into a few streams before we head on to this one. Hey, Darkness. Just a sec. Yeah. Sorry, I just had to well, drop some comments on a couple of different live streams just to let other people know that I've got their backs. I mean, how's it going, Darkness and Red? How we doing today? How's the night time in the morning? Can't lie, my morning's been pretty good so far. Can't complain. So I've just got to test something real quick from my perspective. That's good. Glad to hear it, mate. Tap that like button and subscribe if you're new, guys. Very much appreciated, and especially to my moderators as well. They're all really good. Sorry, I was testing something real quick. This is supposed to me struggling to get out of bed. No, okay, that's all right. I was glad I'm not getting you to hang around on my live streams too late at night then. Uh, I don't really know how to respond to that. I mean, if you're making fun of your friend for being gay, then I don't really want you to be saying stuff like that in here because I don't like people that pick on others for what they choose. But if you're supporting your friend, then that's great. Thanks for the like and subscribing, though. I appreciate that. Sorry, I just don't know what your angle is because I haven't really had someone start a conversation like that. So, um, no, I mean, like I haven't had someone start a conversation by saying straight away my friend is gay. Like it's a very random thing to start a conversation off with. I don't know. Again, you know, we don't judge people for what they choose to do. I mean, I don't judge my friends for what they do. I got friends that do lots of strange stuff, and I support them no matter what they choose to do. So, no, let's completely fix that conversation. How are you, man? What's happening on your end? We know what's happening with your mate. What about yourself? Hmm. Hello, Liam. I'm a creature. What is happening? I don't know what that means. I don't know what's going on today. Seriously. Hey, Lucy. Uh, mm, if you can text in English, I would appreciate that because we can't translate. So I apologize. Um I can't understand that. I'm sorry. Creature feature. Is that the reference to another YouTuber or something? That would make sense. That's what I got sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure either. Mm. Whoa. Okay, cool. Thanks, Lucy. I appreciate that. I mean, if you're asking me if I'm a creature, uh, I mean, I'm a creature of habit. If that counts, if that counts as being a creature. How old am I? I'm 26 years old. I'm getting old. Okay, I see. Fair enough. Not something I'm familiar with, but so I don't think at least I could be. I'm just not something I know of off the top of my head. Right. Other than all that wacky. Yeah, UNC as the kids would say, huh? Yeah, I think so. I think it must be a movie reference. UNC as the kids would say. Dude, that makes you sound old. I'm 26 and I didn't even get that reference. So I probably don't categorize into that role either. No, I'm not. If you're talking to me or someone else, unless it's someone else in chat, I'm not American. So I'm from the down underworld of Australia. um, no, I mean, I don't know where the rest of you are from, but I did get out in the sun, mate. Do you not look at my face? My face is burnt, dude. Man, my goodness God. I go walking every day, bro. Come on. Yeah, I don't know what that whole shtick was about. Thanks, Darkness. I really don't like those kind of comments. Well, he doesn't have a problem anymore because he's not around no more. So, come from China. That's pretty cool. Nice place to grow up, I imagine. Yeah, I don't know what Liam's problem was. Yeah, the land down under, as everyone else calls it. Yeah, exactly. Red J is in the same place as me. So yeah, we're part of the down under crew. Yeah, I agree. This is probably the most wild start I've ever had, man. Seriously. Unfortunately, I do not play Beyblade, I'm afraid. Thanks, Lucy. That much I very much appreciate. As I mentioned, I'm in Australia. I don't disclose the specific city I'm from because yeah, I just don't. That's just not something I do. Yeah, there are tons of spiders in Australia. Australia is something that yeah, Australia is something is the most has the most spiders. Sorry, I should say has the most. Never too late to play. Maybe the tournament October 1st. Present. Okay, definitely have to be something to look into. I do know that some people play Beyblade in Australia, and also Lisa, that's fine. I got that message. And being I've already answered the question of of the country I'm in. Please don't ask the question again. Otherwise, my moderators are going to time you out because I don't do spam. Well, I'm not going to ask where you are because you don't have to answer that question. What kind of spiders have you seen? We've got all kinds in Australia. We've got, we got redbacks, we've got whitetails, we've got dirty long legs. Like we've got pretty much almost every spider there is. So, yeah, no, it does. Australia having an awesome Beyblades. Yeah. Are you not a big spider fan, Darkness? Yeah, Bakugan was another big one back in the day. That one's not as relevant anymore, unfortunately, because they kind of just gave up on it. I think in the mid 2000s, after the success of season one and two, they tried a third season. Third season didn't do so well, so they kind of just, they kind of just gave up on it, and that was it. So, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. To like creeping stuff. Yeah, they do creep around the place. I mean, we find them all the time. I found one next to my bed last night, and I had to squish that one into the wall. And no, we find them everywhere. It's very rare to go like a week in Australia without at least seeing a spider. You might not have one in your house, but you're still gonna see one somewhere. Not sure where, but it's still gonna be around. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, okay. If I'm honest, uh, howdy, Tony. Give me a second, guys. I've just got a phone call to take. Give me 2 seconds. All right, I'll be right back. Hang on. Hey, yeah, yeah. No, it sounds good. Love you, bye. Sorry, guys. Oh, girlfriend called. Um, hope you're doing well there, Tony. And yeah, Belly, it's not fun. The spider situation, but yeah, mainly just just stay away from your bushes. Keep bug spray in your house. Should be right. Since I go back, I can't games on PlayStation 3. We're willing to think look at the trophies. You should go for the plan. Average human lifespan we consume. Okay. I didn't know about that just statistic. I knew that. I mean, in Australia, we probably consume so many more. Who knows? We don't know how many we consume in a lifetime here. Since Australia is to my knowledge, Australia is the country with the most spiders in the world. Yeah. If you're not careful in the outdoors here, it can be a very dangerous environment to be in. I'll give you that much. But as I mentioned, you just gotta be careful. It's not a good protein diet. That's a bad protein diet. Oh my goodness God. To be um yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's not something we do by choice. You know, well, to be fair though, it's the same case in a lot of other countries, like with flies, about how humans consume, a few tens of flies in their lifetime as well. So unfortunately, since when we're asleep, we can't exactly control what we do, unless we were to put some sort of like material around our face just to protect our face while we sleep. Wait, Bill Gates wants to eat crickets now? That sounds like an odd one. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I guess we all have our no, no, kinks. That's not the right word. Fetishes? No, I don't know. That doesn't sound right either. I don't know. I don't know what's it called that. Interests? I guess when people get rich and they start to get attention, that's when people start to learn the things about them they don't want society to know about. Just like everyone around the world assumes that we put shrimp on a barbecue. I've heard it before. um, insects is just food. Yeah, yeah, fair, fair. It can be food. It's not a food that we want to eat. It's to be fair though, there are some countries out there that actually cook insects, for like general consumption in a meal. I can't remember these countries off the top of my head, but it's still crazy to think about though. Like the fact um that we have that. Like wow. Can't lie, that's a crazy thing. Asia, yeah, right, that's right. Yeah, Asia was the country I was thinking about. I just wasn't sure. Like it was on the tip of my tongue. I just couldn't think about it. I mean, like if I was there, I would try it just for the sake of it. But it's not. It's probably not something I would eat regularly. Like I'd try it once for the sake of it, and then probably be like, nope, never again. Oh my goodness gracious me. But no, seriously, this is probably going to be one of the most interactive streams I've ever had, especially in a caliber like this. But I mean, it's also Friday, so everyone's also just chilling on a Friday. It's the end of the week, and we're all prepping for the weekend to relax or go to work, depending on if people work during the weekend or if they play sports or whatever it is. We're just prepping for what's ahead. Well, Asia is in China and Japan, right? Yeah, that's the day. That's what I figured you meant. Yeah, I know, right? Yay, Friday. Best time of the week. It's the end of the week. People who are working, it's their last day of the week, or people like me who are not working, it's just prepping for the weekend. Because I've got a 10 pin bowling league on Saturday mornings, and then I play golf on Sunday. So, it's nice to prepare for all that. Which is good. I actually bought a golf club the other day because I've been using my friends. Yeah, Philippines as well. Because I've got a friend who, like, his mother runs our golf group, and she's had hundreds of golf clubs donated to her over the years. So her son gets a set together for me for the weekend each week, to borrow, which is great because it means I don't have to pay for them. But I've recently found some clubs at secondhand stores that are pretty cheap, so I'm gonna start buying secondhand because there's when it comes to sporting equipment, like golf clubs, bats, that kind of thing is fine. I probably wouldn't buy gloves secondhand because, like, come on, man, there's germs and potential diseases in there. Like that stuff I don't want to touch. And yeah, I know that you could make the same argument saying that clubs and golf sticks and stuff have the same thing. But like it's a lot easier to clean like a baseball bat or a golf club over over a glove, Um, stinky glove. My. Not something that's particularly fun. I'll give you that much for free. So, but if you guys also guys haven't checked out my moderators channels yet, they do just as much content as I do, if not more. Like Darkness does a lot more gaming streaming than I do. So does Red J. Red J does live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. He focuses on games and achievements and trophies and stuff like that. As he mentioned with the background battle brawls on PlayStation 3. To check out the trophies for that. I've got it on PlayStation. Hang on, wait. Have I got it on again? Yeah, PlayStation 3, I believe, or 2. So I got it on 2, so I don't have the trophy access. But playing those old games is still so much fun. It's that hit of nostalgia that reminds us of being a young kid when we didn't have to worry about dumb things like being an adult and and stressing out about finding jobs and paying taxes. Could just be a kid coming home from school playing an awesome game. And that part was fun. At least for me, those memories were good fun and entertainment. Mm. Ah. Ooh, Donkey Kong 60. Okay, Donkey Kong 64 is not one I played. I didn't go that far back with the consoles. My earliest console was the DS. I didn't play much before that. Like my original DS games were games based on movies, so like Shrek and Star Wars stuff like that. And then that's when I got into Pokemon. Been playing that ever since. Yeah, look, the DS I absolutely adored. Look, playing the Nintendo Switch is fine. The biggest problem with the Switch in my eyes, it's so freaking, it's massive. Like I feel like the cons, like the console itself, you gotta hold it there, which is fine. You do all your gaming and playing and stuff. But a DS was simpler because it's smaller. Although I do understand the appeal of obviously wanting a bigger screen, so there is that. I played a little bit of the Game Boy with my friends because my friends had Game Boys because I wasn't because I was born in 2000. And I know the Game Boy was prevalent in the very early 2000s when I would have been 2 or 3 years old. And if I was given a gaming console at that age, I would have just mashed buttons. I wouldn't have understood it. Um, like I played the DS in 2012, I think it was, or 11, one of the two. When I was 11 and 12. And then I was playing the PlayStation 2 at the same time. Um, so yeah, PS2 technically was my original gaming console before the DS, Nintendo Wii, PlayStation 3, etc., etc. I've got a 5 and an Xbox One S or One X or whatever it is. I'm in there at the moment, so that's fine. Mission shoot games and go stuff like that. Which Assassin's Creed games though? I've played through. Well, I haven't played through, but I've played a good majority of Black Flag, and I've had a lot of fun playing that. Because when I wanted to start playing Assassin's Creed, I spoke to a guy at the gaming store I got it from because I was asking him. I said, "Oh, what Assassin's Creed game would you recommend?" Because I've never played Assassin's Creed and I wanted to get into it. This was about 2 years ago. And he said for the sake of best game, get Black Flag. So I did, and I have had a lot of fun playing, and still do. But I got distracted a lot because my favorite gaming genre is like zombie end of world style. Those things just get me. I love them to death. So like Days Gone, Dead Rising, Dead Island, the zombie modes in Call of Duty, like that kind of thing. Those were my big time contenders. They were probably my favorites, actually, I'd say. Those ones I had a lot of fun with, so still played to this day. I try to change my gaming genre around a little bit. Obviously, I played Fortnite when that became a thing. Not something I'm particularly proud of. Um, Sorry, I just got notified. Pedro, if you're still in my chat, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, so playing all these different games, I do the best that I can. Hey Jay, so glad you could make it. Hope you're having a nice day. Um, oh, what game was it I was talking about? Hang on, what game was it I was talking about? I forgot what it was. Um, Most would say SEO collection, but I got PS3 copy of Black Flag signed. Wait, seriously? That's so cool. That is really cool, mate. No, I'll give you stars. That's really cool. Um, no, I love that. I love that. I love the actor that plays him as well because he's been in a few other roles as well. Um, mm, hang on a second. Matt. To answer that question, my day's going very well. But to also answer that question as well, with the answer the question of myself, talking about Matt Ryan, he also plays John Constantine in the DCE universe, so like Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, etc. That one was pretty fun. Um, because he did come to Comic Con in our city a couple of years ago. I just couldn't afford to do the extra stuff to meet him. Really should have done it. Really should have done it because would have loved to. But oh well, he was there, and we still got to see him answer crowd questions, and seeing him in person was really freaking cool. Um, so I thoroughly enjoyed that bit. But it's still so funny to listen to actors talk about um like also to talk about their time in shows because fans yeah, all good darkness, man. No drama. We'll see when you come back. Um, the really cool thing is when fans ask them those hard questions of like, oh, who was your favorite actor to work with, and like stuff like that, because they never want to answer the question, they never want to answer it. But then they still do. Yeah, no, Red will hold down the fort, and I'm also still here as well. If there's any drama, I'm sure there won't be. We usually get our spikes pretty early, and things start to settle down then, so it should be all right. Yeah, no. Sorry, I got my Baba girl behind me. She's been sitting here and chilling with me. I gotta let her down off the bed when she wants to go on and up because she's older, so she can't jump up anymore. She couldn't really jump up much as a puppy anyway. So, well, she probably could actually. We didn't really know her as a puppy. We adopted them a couple of years ago from a family that was moving away from Australia, so we've been looking after them ever since. They're a bit full on sometimes, but we still adore them mostly. No, all jokes aside, they're lovely dogs. Wouldn't trade them in for nothing. Still tired. That'll be alright. I've had a big week of running around and exercising and stuff, so I'm gonna have a take it after the stream today. I'm gonna take a little bit of a day off, to breathe and relax and stuff. Sorry guys, give me a second. Sorry, just answering go. I should actually be doing better because it's our 5 month anniversary today. So we couldn't do much there today because she's working. So, and it's not any like it's a good milestone in itself, but it's not like a major one. It's just chill. Oh, not doing well so far. Oh, I'm already about to be half an hour in. I'm gonna be doing the extra time today. We're gonna go to an hour because I ended it earlier yesterday because I did the stream so late yesterday. So I'm gonna go the extra time today so we can make up for what we lost. I was meant to do a week review on like view counts, likes, subscribers, etc. But I'm gonna do that. Hopefully, if I get time, I'm gonna do that today for like Fortnite, so you guys can see the numbers. Because holy crap, some of these streams go up and go nuts at the same time. Like seriously, it is absolutely insane. Um, like seriously, the and also the fact that you guys are here hanging around with me and interacting and having a chat with me means the world because it keeps me entertained at the same time. Um, hey Ada, welcome back. Nice to see you again. Hope you're having a nice day so far or night. Keep on forgetting which one. Always good to see you return. And thanks for the seventh like too. I appreciate that. Getting closer to another double digit stream. You missed a bit actually. The start of the stream, we had a lot of craziness happening. We had a very good influx of chatters. We had a couple of people we had to remove. Because a few people that were just being trolls and nuisances. But we met a couple of nice people too today, so we've had a nice time so far. Um, like I said, a few bumps at the beginning, but nothing we can't handle. Moderators keep us together. And then other than that, we've just been talking about random subjects. Like we're talking about one of our new chatters, Belly was asking about the spider influx in Australia. So then we jumped on the subject of talking about how some countries over in Asia talk about how they actually cook some insects and eat them. So, not the most interesting conversation in the world for everybody, but I found it interesting because it's just something new for me to learn. And then other than that, I'll be spending the rest of my day recruiting people as well. My state's trying to build a cricket team for people with disabilities like mine. So I've been spending my time contacting people and trying to recruit more people for this team because the guy, the manager who's my best friend is busy with his life and another guy's doing his work. So no, being welcome back. No, no, man, that's all good. That's not a drama at all. I just I don't like spam. Just because I've had bad experiences with spam and letting it go through. But it's not a drama at all, man. Stick around for as long as you like. We enjoy our new viewers here. So, and the more of you, the better as well. Oh crap! Hang on. Sorry, guys. I didn't read my girlfriend's snap. Crud. No, crap. Hang on. I've not told her. Sorry, my partner's really excited because she's getting a new phone tomorrow. So because her current phone is in a nice way a piece of crap. Like as in like it turns off on her all the time, doesn't connect to phone calls. Like it's just complete rubbish. So I'm gonna go with her into town tomorrow, and we're gonna get an upgrade. So hopefully this upgrade, well obviously this upgrade will do better. Um, Well, it's well, what he said is still look. He didn't say anything too bad. Like it wasn't anything overly offensive. He was just asking them the same question a couple of times. So it's nothing too major. It's nothing to worry about basically. She was just asking the question of like where I'm from. I mentioned the country I'm from, which I'm fine to do. I just don't like to mention the city I'm from because that's too personal for me. Talking about a country you're from is one thing because if I was actually a big time YouTuber, someone was that dedicated, they got to search a whole country to find me. So, good luck to them. But I don't think that's gonna happen. So, hopefully, at least. Don't think I'm that famous, and I probably don't ever want to be. I just do this for a bit of fun. So, but no, other than that stress, man. How's your day or night coming along? Hopefully, it's going well. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, look, this phone I've had for about 2 years now, and it still runs pretty well. It doesn't cause me too much issues. It does overheat a bit sometimes, but that's just from overuse. So if it overheats, I just chuck it on its charger and give it a break. Um, because the thing is, I'm not actually on my phone. Like, I'm not staring at the screen 24/7. Most of the time, when I use my phone, it's like let's say 50% of the time, I've just got music playing in the background, and obviously, the phone considers that screen time because the phone's on. So. Um, but it's funny, when I was working, my screen time was higher, but then now I'm not working, it's not as high. I find that really funny. Like you think that you get more what do you call it? You think you get more screen time when you don't have a job, like because you're at home all the time. But according to my phone's log, I'm not on it as much, huh? Yeah, well, don't you worry, being. I'll let you know if there's anything bad said. I'll keep that in mind and noted for any future incidents, and I'll let you know. But today it wasn't anything bad, so you got nothing to worry about at all. And welcome back, Darkness. How was bathing the children? Hopefully they didn't give you too much of a fuss on it. I know as a kid I probably would. I wasn't really a big fan of a bath when I was a kid. Now I enjoy it because all I got to do is sit and relax and not stress too much. Sorry, guys, give me a second. Okay, it's all right. Okay, good. That's good to know. So I had to check blood sugar. For those who don't know, I'm a type 1 diabetic. So that's what this little thing on my arm's for. Just to check it, make sure it's still in good range, which it is today. So I'm happy with that. Sorry, I got my dog laying here. And he can't see because he's laying down. No, she loves a good tummy rub. This old girl. She's a beautiful puppy. They're just excessive. Like if you have a new visitor, they just bark their heads off. So that part can be a little annoying sometimes, but we've spent so much time with them, we've gotten used to it. So that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. All dogs have their quirks and their parts of their personality, right? So there's nothing to stress too much over. So I got sore muscles and everything else. Hang on, mama. Hang on, hang on. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec. Oh, no. Okay, that's okay. As long as you're not in front of the camera, Molly, I don't mind. Like you guys are here. She's like right next to the camera. I think it's because she wants attention. Oh, that's a good one, actually. Let's do that. I think I've Googled and asked this question before, but I forgot what the answer was. Hang on, mama. Hang on. I'm curious now. I mean, if you guys want to know randomly which country created the internet, it was America. Ah, that's why you wanted me to Google it. I see. Thank you, Darkness, for for your contribution to the creation of insulin that keeps me going every day. It's always funny how Canada's made and discovered so many things. Isn't that interesting? Like seriously, we've learned so. Like I love these streams because they're educational for me and for our viewers. I've learned so much about it all from that point of view. It's awesome, man. I love it. No, and the other beautiful thing doing this as well, everything's going up. Sub count, views, watch hours. Seriously, I mean, my watch hours is still way before 1995. The US needed networking for. Oh, there you go. So that's what they used it for war progress. Um, fair enough. Well, there you go. That's something new. It also just tells the rest of my viewers how dumb I am and how smart Darkness is. He's like my teacher when it comes to worldwide. Um, no, I imagine they would have created it. Yeah, created it ages back. They probably it probably was just used differently. I know they used things like radio for to keep in contact with their soldiers on the ground and their captains and their generals and commanders and stuff like that. Like for example, in the First World War, they used messengers. Like so they have soldiers run all the way to command, get a message from their commands, whatever they were. Because in the First World War, for example, all the Allied troops at the beginning, all they were doing was charging at the Turkish army with bayonets and rifles. But the Turkish soldiers had machine guns in trenches, and they were just gunning down every soldier that would charge at them. And at one stage, there was actually a movie that referenced this, but at one stage there was one soldier who ran all the way to command to to get new orders, and these new orders were to get soldiers to stop charging because like what was the point? All these soldiers were just getting killed, and it was a waste of time. But as he got back, he heard the whistle, and another line of soldiers ran out from the trenches, and they all got gunned down. United States wanted to keep eyes on the country that. Ah, so that's the reason why they used it. So it's basically just like spying on them and just like keeping tabs on them and stuff. I wonder how they did that back in the First World War and the wars before that. I imagine they would have just sent scout soldiers or something like that. Um, and to answer that other question, what's my favorite game? My favorite game would be Pokemon overall. That's the one I played the most, and it's the one I grew up with. Um, but if we're talking recently, I'd have to say Days Gone. It's become one of my newer favorites. It's an awesome zombie game. If you haven't checked it out, you definitely need to do so because it is just awesome. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just staying steps ahead of their enemies, just to know what their enemies are doing, making sure that they're not doing anything that the allies didn't want them to be doing. Like for example, I'll tell you one thing that I know that you may or may not know, Darkness. Back in the 1800s, there was the Revolutionary Wars. This was between America and England, because obviously every country was like English. England was the original country, and America was one of the other original powers. And so they clashed in the 1800s, and there was a war at one stage. That, like, sorry, not a war, a fight at one point, where both sides were throwing everything. Hang on, you may not know this one. So the both sides were throwing everything they had at each other, um, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, so both sides. So England thought, okay, so we're not getting anywhere. Let's send half the army around the Americans to ambush them from behind, and the other half focus on fighting them head on to distract them. And this worked. English went around and ambushed them. The Americans fled, and hundreds of them got slaughtered and killed because they were outgunned, outmatched, outnumbered. So the Americans got themselves onto boats and got themselves away from that. And then they discovered that there was an English town, and they thought, with what power they had left, it was only a small town. They thought, let's take this town over. And there were two British scouts that were on the edge of the water watching, watching for enemies and watching for any potential threats. And they saw the Americans coming, right? So one of them gave the other one, like the other one scribbled a note and tried to run it to the king or the leader or whatever you want to call it of this town. But unfortunately, this was as the battle started. The Americans caught them off by surprise because the messenger hadn't arrived yet. No one knew what happened to him. So the Americans succeeded in ambushing this little town. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So the Americans won against this small town and took it over. And later, while the Americans were going through all the bodies of all these dead British soldiers, they actually found the messenger. One random shot from one of the Americans' rifles or guns, whatever it was back then, actually hit him and killed him before he got to this town. So if that messenger had arrived, then British would have been able to combat them. But luckily, since that one lucky shot took him out, um, they won. They won. I do not remember the year or the name of the town. This was just a little story that I learned from college history class. Because history was one of the only subjects I thrived in, and I actually got a B plus to doing history outside of our disability unit, so I was pretty proud of that. First B I ever legitimately got, and because I got C average in all my other classes because in 11th grade I was a little bit of a bad boy. So yeah, no, I'm also familiar with the Boston Tea Party, about how a bunch of Americans disguised themselves as I think it was as native or something like that. They raided the English ships and tossed all their tea into the ocean. That one I studied a little bit as well. I think they disguised themselves as natives. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and study it to get the full knowledge on it if I wanted to remember it again. Um, but yeah, that was a big one. Oh, you guys learned about it as well. Cool. Look, I do consider that in that history. Yeah, well, it did. It made the Brits really angry at the Americans, because of that. Because the amount of tea that the Americans dumped over like overboard into the water was like their full supply almost. Like it was just barrel after barrel of tea. Um and fun fact too, if you guys have ever seen the show Family Guy actually made a reference to the Boston Tea Party where when they had an episode where a British guy took over their local drinking spot. Um and they went out and like the Family Guy group, Peter Quagmire, Joe, and Cleveland went out on a binge, and they found a ship full of British beer and dumped it over the water. Well, they dumped it into the water and drank it themselves because, as they said in the episode, beer is beer. So, no, I love that. I love when shows do references of historical events as well, even parody versions. Because yeah, it's not funny to laugh at something that happened horrible, but when they make parodies, they're just trying to make find a brighter side of a tragic event. So, and that's what they did. But I know about that. I don't know. The only war I don't know a lot about is the Second World War. That one I didn't study too much about. I know about the Vietnam War. Which about how the Vietnam War was an absolute disaster because the Americans, from my knowledge, the Americans started that war, and then they got us from Australia and other allied countries to help them. But it turned out being a massive waste of time because because the filler because the filler the the Vietnamese soldiers beat the Americans. Yeah, beer and crisps is the English way of life. Yeah, but no, back to what I was gonna say. Is that yeah, the Vietnamese beat them to the point where the Americans had to sign a treaty in order to end the war because the Americans weren't getting anywhere with the war. They were failing because they were charging on to all good, all good, being. Thanks so much for coming in, man. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you again, and I hope you have a nice sleep as well. Um, yeah, no, like the Americans failed, and then when it comes to the Second World War, the only things I know about the Second World War is when Hitler went on a massacre of the Jewish people, and when he ended his life at the end because he was too much of a coward to face justice. Come on, you can't blame them with bangers and mash. Bangers and mash is pretty good, and no problem being you have a good sleep, man. Okay, anyway, let's move on from the war subject, and I agree with Jay. Let's move on from that and utilize this last time to go through which one sounds better, bananas or apples. If we're talking red apples, then that wins. But if we're talking green apples versus bananas, I'd have to pick bananas. I don't like green apples. Green apples for me are too sweet. Oh, Jesus Christ! Sorry, my back's getting a bit tight. All right, let's try something else. Which time of the day do you guys prefer? Nighttime or daytime? What's your yeah, green out? Yeah, no, they're the same here. They're sour as hell. But what do you prefer, night or day? Which one is your out of the two is the preferred one? I'm gonna go fill up my water while you guys decide that and move my legs because it's so sore. Oh, Back it. It's oh my goodness gracious me. Oh. Sorry, guys, we're having a bit of a discussion about a few things. Okay, they're good for the body. Well, I don't know what Jay said, but I'm assuming that's related to that. Like both, night brings out the stars. Day is essential for the nature and the. Yeah, fair, fair. I mean, if anything, I prefer the day because it's the time to go out and actually, like, um, go out and exercise and train. Because I exercise and train every day. Because this team that I was talking about before, and I've probably talked about it in a couple of streams in the past few days. Um, this one, yeah, that sounds about right. Vitamin B12. Um, I'm currently on the task of recruiting players, but as well as that, I have to train and work hard because not only do I want to make this team, but I want to captain it. So, and in order to do that, it's going to take a lot of hard work to do both. But today I'm going to take a bit of a day off because I've been working hard all week and I don't want to overdo myself. I need to remind myself that it's also okay to take a day off. So, yeah, I've still got one other guy to get into. One guy that I'm waiting to hear back from about his answer to this trial, and one other person I got to contact who I cannot believe I didn't think of sooner because he used to play with us, like play the sport with us. So I'm thinking maybe he might want to come back because our old coach turned a lot of the guys away. Turned a lot of the guys away from this sport because he's very competitive in nature, and they just wanted to play it casually. But if I remind them there's a new guy in charge, and if I soften the load, it might help them to come back. Maybe I don't know. I'm still gonna introduce the question regardless. So because they could be a possibility. Because if I get these other two guys, maybe even the third one interested, then that brings our numbers up to 7, and it brings up our tab to that. So we can do. Favorites. That's a lot more harder to answer. I've got tons of favorite songs. I think off the top of my head, it'd have to be classic from MKTO. I hate everything about you from 3 Days Grace. Um, oh, so it's something. Yeah, no, it'd probably have to be. I hate everything about you by 3 Days Grace. That's probably the pinnacle one. That's probably the big one. Um, that I've always listened to, and it's never grown stale, and probably never will. If I'm honest with you. Um, yeah, let's say be that. Definitely strawberries over oranges. I wasn't really a big orange guy. Strawberries definitely the way to go for me, in my opinion. So my dog realized I moved, so she rolled over straight away. So my arm's conveniently right there to pat her chest, isn't it? Hmm? Conveniently, my hand was right there. Well, I'm also stretching my legs as well. Mm. But no, when it comes to the favorite song of "I Hate Everything About You," that song got me through a lot of rough times in school and through a breakup as well. This is one of my exes just really wanted me to feel how bad it was for a breakup. So, but I mean that was years ago, and who knows where she is now? And I honestly don't give two shits. So, so fucking man is. Let me have a look. Hang on, keep that. Well, I got the song in my ear, so I'll give it a listen and we'll see how it sounds. Preliminary archery or whatever. So if I pronounced that wrong, I apologize. And that's always nice to see. Double digits. That's 2 days now we've hit double digits. To be fair, we probably could have yesterday if I'd actually stuck around, but I was just too tired yesterday. Takes a while to kick off this song. I mean, I've known of songs to do that. Not an unfamiliar concept to me. I have a couple of bands I listen to that do that as well. Have beats and music. I see why you like it so much, Darkness. I'm into this style of music as well. So I'm probably gonna be a sucker for it just as much. Definitely will. I'll add this one because this one is an instant enjoyment for me. But let's get this other one that you've typed up. Um, hang on, sweater weather. Sorry. Okay. Oh yes, sweater weather. I'm familiar with sweater weather. I was wondering for so long what this song was called. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's another song I can add into my arsenal of music. Very much appreciate that. Look it up. You have. If you've watched YouTube for as long as I have, Darkness, you have. Sweater weather is everywhere on YouTube. It's used for YouTube Shorts, like so people who upload like old TV show clips or intense scenes, they use this song for it. I just didn't know what it was called for so long because I never heard the full song. Because on YouTube Shorts, they only play like the choruses and stuff. No, it is. It's very, very good. I got to agree with that one. Yeah, so we'll go for about 2.5 more minutes and we'll hit an hour and then I'll cut it there because I got to do lunch next and I've got to contact a few people. So and I'll do that as well. But the holy God, today's been another great stream and it's all thanks to all of you. So thanks guys for that. It means the absolute world to me. Um Like it means the world to me knowing that I can have a chat and a conversation with some good people out there. Knowing that in the YouTube and the internet scene there are good people out there. It's not just all full of mean people and trolls. It's good to know we can build a community of good people on it. Yeah, we're gonna run into trolls every once in a while, but that's normal. We're never gonna have a time on YouTube where we're gonna not run into trolls. I've ran into trolls all the time. I uploaded Lego Star Wars content. I got picked on for that. What did I do? I ignored the comment. I also deleted it because I was a little petty back then. Um, and I'll continue to do that because I don't like toxicity, and I don't want to see toxicity in my comment section. Because if I've got younger people who are reading through my comments and they see something highly inappropriate, I don't want a child to read that, so I get rid of them. I remove them because the last thing I want it to see is garbage like that. Like our younger generation is already going through hell enough because of all the influences and references on the internet that they read and then implement into life. I don't want to contribute onto that. Hang on, guys. Hold on. Go, Molly. Go, go, go. Don't push her. Sorry, guys, about that. My mum was giving the dogs a little bite to it before she goes. It's a little tradition we do. Give the dogs a little snack. No, I'll definitely be playing sweeter weather a couple of times. I'm not gonna lie about that. That one is very, very good. And this other one from You Darkness, I do like. I'm gonna give that one a listen a couple of times. Thanks guys for those. I really appreciate that. Um, yeah, especially I know my moderators will be back. But if you guys ever choose to, or the rest of you ever choose to come back, in the future and you got more good song recommendations, I'd love to hear them. Music is a big part of my life and a big thing that helps me to stay calm. So, and also to enjoy life as well. So, but anyway, we're gonna go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Have a great day or night wherever you reside. I may or may not stream tomorrow. Keep an eye on the community post. I'll update there. Just because I'll be with my girlfriend tomorrow, so I probably won't have any time. Um, yeah, I will. Thanks, man. But if I get time, I'll try to stream on Sunday. But if not, I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care, guys. We'll catch you then.